Hi, this is Trevor, and welcome back once again to our weekly tarot card video. Today is Thursday, June the 4th, 2015, and once again I'm coming to you from my cozy little reading studio here in Winnipeg at 161 Stafford Street. And you can find lots of information about this location, as well as how to book an appointment with me, how I work, and also all of these videos in a table of contents order on my website at trevorsense.com. You can, of course, also find the rest of the videos here on this YouTube channel. I'm really enjoying this location, and I just want to say this is a time of some really strong new beginnings for me. I'm very, very grateful to the environments that I've been in and the people who've been a tremendous support. The last few years have been a challenging time. You know, as a reader, you go through your own periods of brokenness and sometimes setbacks. But one of the things that always has been a great constant for me is my work and what I get to learn in sharing with other people and being able to kind of work on that level. Particularly now that my mother is settled in really good nursing care. It allows me to have more flexible hours, a bit of a different schedule that can be more comfortable for people, and I really appreciate the patience and support of my clients and friends through the last few years, as it has been a challenging time. But new beginnings and lots of healing and growth that's going on. Without further ado, let's get into our card of the week. The Seven of Cups. Well, all of the sevens, and I think I posted a link a little while back to an article I wrote about tricky sevens. All of the sevens have a kind of funny, arbitrary feeling to them. You know, some of the cards have such an obvious feeling of being positive or, you know, kind of more negative and shadowy. But all of the sevens seem to invoke a feeling of, is this good or is this bad? There's something kind of indeterminate about them. And in the Seven of Cups, that's present in terms of this figure who's looking at all of these choices that are before them. Right? We see all of these cups holding different things, different motivations. And you could make associations to seven vices and seven virtues. That's oftentimes a popular association with the sevens. What's our motivation going to be? What are we going to choose? And what is drawing us in that choosing? That seems to be one of the questions here. Interesting little note, we see, again, a laurel wreath. And they come up in the cards again and again as symbols of wisdom and attainment, sort of like you've earned a degree in something that is powerful. But we see, quite intentionally on the cup, hidden in the design, not hidden all that well, is a little skull. So with power, there comes that sense of impermanence. There comes that sense of all things must pass. You might wear the crown for a time, but not indefinitely. So this figure is looking at all of these different choices, and sometimes it's kind of tempting to want to go, well, which is the one? And this being the Seven of Cups, this seems to have to do with issues around relationships and issues of feeling and emotion. So this card will oftentimes come up for people when they're kind of navigating choices on a whole new level. Just like somebody who's newly single and dealing with that uncertainty and wanting to figure out who is the one who is going to be that next big person in their life. Well, I think part of the trick with this card is to look at the danger of exclusive or excluding choices. Arthur Edward Waite, who was the instigator of this deck, the scholar, the metaphysician who commissioned Pamela Coleman Smith, said that this is a card, he put it, of fairy favors. In other words, everything is not as it seems. You have to be careful because there are those illusions or projections that we want to attach to the things that we're looking at. If we're looking at people purely as being something for us, who's going to be filling that role, then we're kind of letting our ego or our motivations on a challenging level be present in that choice. So he said that this is a bit of a dangerous card. Everything is not as it seems. But I think that's really true only if we are trying to make an exclusive or excluding choice. Maybe instead of saying who is the one, we can say everyone's a one. Everyone counts. If we can look at how everyone at the party is an opportunity for us to see and have something reflected back to ourselves, then we can become a little more comfortable with our choices. Something my mother taught me long ago is that you don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry. You're not going to make great choices. If we're letting fear decide, we're going to pick the most distracting person in the room. Usually the guy wearing the snakeskin boots. And if instead we can get kind of comfortable with there being different kinds of associations around us, maybe brotherly, sisterly associations, pals, buddies, and even the jerks have something to show us. These are all opportunities to see ourselves reflected in different ways. So there's a point where we have to kind of let it ride. One of the earliest books I worked with on tarot was Eileen Connolly's Tarot: A New Handbook for the Apprentice. That was way back in the early 1980s. And there's a little rhyme she associates with this card. When choices are many and you can't see the woods for trees, then let it be. That's something I remember. And I think when we can kind of let the choices coexist, a lot gets revealed. Sevens always have to do with the action we have to take where we might not really know for sure what the outcome can be. Again, we can associate sevens to position 7 in the Celtic cross, which is the action we're taking where we don't know what the consequence will be. So sevens are a learning experience. They're a point where we have to kind of stay in the process, maybe be willing to take some lumps, but to stay in the game. What an interesting card in terms of navigating new choices and new beginnings, and giving ourselves the opportunity to see ourselves reflected in different ways with different people. Hope everyone's having a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Tune in again, and bye for now.